Hi, I'm an Australian living here in Belarus, and today's topic is thinking about being a digital nomad and being someone who drifts around the planet, kind of country to country to country over long periods of time. Because I believe that as humans, we're not meant to do this. Yeah, and the majority of people who set out to spend 1 month in this country, 1 month in that country, they usually get pretty tired of this. Yeah. And they don't really want to go from country to country, trying to meet new people, trying to settle into the community. And most of these types of people tend to just settle within maybe 6 months, find their favorite country and just settle there, put their roots down, get some social connections, get familiar with the local layout. The first one is this classic modern idea of, I want something new. I'm kind of bored now. I want something new. So it could be like, oh, the restaurants here are boring. I want new food. I want new restaurants. I want some life. Right? This is the kind of thing you'll hear guys say. And of course what that translates to is that they don't need new food. I mean, even here in Minsk, Belarus, which is not the most exciting place in the world, you know, there are probably a couple of hundred restaurants you can choose from, right? That's a lot of choice. But foreigners here often comment that they want something new and exciting. It's kind of boring here, right? So what is it that they're really looking for in my mind? I suggest in this case, they're more looking for that dopamine hit. Yeah, that novelty thing. Now, I don't think we had this as people quite so much when we were less consumer driven, less individual in centuries gone by. I suspect we didn't have this quite as much. But now there seems to be a pretty considerable segment of the population who kind of can't sit still. It's difficult for them to be in the same place and have the same routine because they get bored. So they're searching for this dopamine hit, this excitement hit of a new place, new language, new food, new surrounds. And of course, I don't have to tell you that this can be really problematic for a person because at the end of the day, life is pretty similar everywhere, right? You get up, you get on the train, you go to work, you work in an office, you get some lunch, you come home, you cook dinner, you talk to your wife, you talk to your kids, you whatever, go out with your friends for a coffee, whatever your lifestyle is. And as I say, lifestyles are tending to kind of merge into each other around the world. So I feel like this guy just is kind of like an adrenaline junkie, not like in an extreme sport sense, but just in the sense of having something new and exciting and kind of constantly getting that very shallow and very temporary dopamine hit. So I think that this is one reason why foreign guys can tend to drift around the planet. Oh, it's boring here in Minsk. I'm going to go to Vilnius. You know, a few months in, oh, this isn't quite what I want either. I'm going to go to Kazakhstan. 6 months later, oh, this is not really what I wanted. I'm going to go to da-da-da. I'm bored now. I'm going to want to go here. I'm sick of the food here. I'm sick of something here. And they want to get this adrenaline hit, right? Needless to say that if you're in this boat, you can never really be happy. You're only getting these temporary short-term fixes, right? You're not just finding some nice stable level where you have fulfilling activities, people, etc. in your life. The second category of people, I think, are people that kind of deep down aren't quite happy with themselves, or there's something about them that stops them from having a satisfying life, right? So they might live somewhere for a while, they might meet some new people. Oh, wow, this place is great. They get excited. Wow, this is the place I've been looking for, right? But then as the months go on, possibly to do with some of their personality defects, that was very close. I don't know if you heard the horn there. That was really close to about a 3-car pileup. Didn't happen though. So yeah, these people, there's usually some considerable personality defect in them that they're not aware of. So they go to a new place. It seems they can fit in with new people, but of course over time they struggle to make those close social connections again. So there's something kind of wrong with them, right? With their attitude, with their character, whatever it is. So when things kind of don't work out in, say, Belarus, they think, oh, you know what? The problem here is Belarus. I don't like the people here, or I don't like something here, or whatever it is. I'm going to go move to, again, wherever, Latvia, Poland, Hungary, wherever it is. So now I can kind of see that, again, it's not really natural just to drift around the globe and set up your life and then change it again. Like, I've been here in Minsk for just over a year, and I'm pretty invested in this place. Yeah, I'm pretty invested. Excuse my throat's a bit iffy today. I'm pretty invested here, right? I have a lot of social networks. I'm very familiar with the place. I like the place. I've invested in learning the language, or at least some of it. This is my new normal. Now, for me to get up and move somewhere else and do this all again, I don't want to do this. I really don't. I can go for a holiday, but I don't want to have to make a whole lot of friends again, somehow find guys that I actually like and actually want to hang out with. This is not an easy thing to do, right? And it takes a lot of effort and time and whatever. And I would much rather have the stability, have the social connections, know where things are. If I want to get something, I know where it is. I think this is a really interesting topic going forward because digital nomadism will only increase as we become more mobile, as we become more kind of novelty dependent, trying to get this new thing, this exciting thing. As we become more and more like this, more and more people will live like this. And you see around the world, the governments are currently implementing more and more digital nomad tax-free visas. So please do let me know what you think of this topic. Do you see a bit of this in one of your friends? Do you see a bit of this in someone else? Or do you see a bit of this in yourself? I really enjoy when people leave like a long thought out personal comment, right? I don't want people ranting, I don't care. But if you kind of connect with what I'm saying and then write like a 30-line comment based on your experiences, what you've seen, what you've felt, etc. I really enjoyed reading these. So if you have something to say and you want to connect with the material that I'm presenting today, please do write your story below in the comments section. Just before I go, can I ask you a favor? Can you click the like button there? If you enjoyed this content, of course, please do click that like button. It helps me a lot. And it also tells me like, what do you want to see from this channel? Also, if you are a subscriber to my channel, I do appreciate it. Thank you. I hope you enjoy my content as much as I enjoy making it. And if you're not, what are you doing, mate? There's a big red subscribe button right below you. Just reach out your finger and press it. Got a little bit of B-roll footage coming at you. It's a nice, busy day here headed towards Galleria Shopping Centre, and there's also a little festival over here that we might check out. Just gonna have a walk around, a bit of a chit chat, see how you're doing. A bit of bonus footage without too much pressure on to say something insightful, clever or useful, and just have a little bit of a stroll around. Very busy for such a cold, potentially rainy day, but it's been really cold for the last week and just kind of coming out of summer and kind of more into autumn, and I think people just want to get out of the house after having such a weirdly quiet week, windy and rainy and so forth. These e-scooters. My friend made the very astute observation yesterday that there is not a helmet in Belarus. People on bikes and e-scooters, just concept of helmet doesn't exist. Whereas in Australia, for example, it's really drummed into us. In fact, it's illegal to ride a bike. Well, maybe not illegal, but you get fined if you ride a bike without a helmet in Australia. I'm sure many other Western countries will be the same. There's something's going on over here. This area is really nice. If you know Minsk much, you'll know that this side of the river here is often used for little festival things and what have you. You probably see, if you've seen a lot of my footage, you would have seen me over this side of Nemiga. There are lots of nighttime festivals and stuff. So yeah, a real buzz of activity today. I know during the week this can get quite quiet down here. It's a little bit of a ghost town with the wind blowing. It's kind of cold and everything, but today people are out and they want to have a look around. So I might even cross over there. I might go over there. Do you want to come with me or do you want to do your own thing? I actually mentioned you in a video the other day. Actually, I've released that video. I mentioned you in a video.
Okay.
Yeah, you're famous. Well,
Which one?
it was when I walked down to the park and I was speaking about, what was it? About, I think it's the one called Culture Shock, where I was speaking about how things are more image, well, at least for a certain part of the population here, that things are more image conscious compared to Australia. And I forget what the example was. Oh, that time that we were in Paul's Cafe. on Mark Street. We're in Paul's Cafe, Mark Street, and these two girls got out of the car and they had big bouquets of flowers, and they went near the Cafe de Paris, and it was obvious they were, it was obvious that they were doing like a photo shoot or something. I referred to this in a video because I remember they had a bouquet with maybe 100 flowers in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wonder if there is another market like second-hand flowers.
Secondhand. Well, I assume they were just rentals.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I assumed. But actually, the other day, I don't know if you've seen this, but I was down here kind of Plosh Galanina, and I was going under to get to the central bus station, and I found about 10 flower shops in a row. And the flowers are actually really cheap. It depends the stem length. Stem length is like the thing. But I would say that for not particularly long stem length, maybe 70 cents a rose. Something like this. So it's actually not as expensive as I thought. I've got an idea. I'm gonna get flowers and then go out and give them to babushkas, and just film their response and try and talk to them with my broken Russian. Yeah, I think it would be fun.
Yes.
That's my plan. The idea originally was just to give it to girls, but it's like I feel girls get enough flowers here, and I wanted to compare to giving flowers in Australia. But I think in Australia it's too cringy. I think girls just like, what are you doing, mate? Why are you trying so hard? Yeah. So I think I won't do that.
But
Oh wow.
I think you can see the difference between different ages.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what do you think would happen? Which age do you think would like it the most? Which will like it the least?
Maybe the more traditional age.
So what, give me a number, like 40, 20,
plus,
80?
40 plus, they can
40 plus, that kind of Soviet age
Yeah,
will love?
Soviet age.
Yeah. I feel like the young ones will love it too, but more because they can post it on Instagram. Whereas the older ones love it because they love it, maybe. Girls here dancing, the group there with their phones, getting into it. It's really cool. See the girls in front of me here mimicking the dancing. Lots of little smiles on their faces there. Oh. Oh, I like this. That's pretty cool. Go around. Gonna navigate around the crowd. About enough? Go for a wander? Do you reckon that was Belarusian language? Could you tell? I think it wasn't Russian, right? It didn't sound like Russian. I couldn't understand any words. So do tell me if you're local here, do tell me something about this. If you're watching, do mention what you know about what just happened there. It's good to see some, keeping some culture rather than just blindly following the usual American stuff, or even just following some of the Russian stuff like Russian rap and this kind of stuff. It's good to see them keeping their own sense of identity. It's a nice thing to see. I hope these things can be preserved throughout the world. Each country keeping at least some of its mannerisms. It's inevitable that we're all going to be more or less the same within 100 years, right? This seems inevitable, depending on geopolitical tensions, obviously, in different parts of the world. But even still, I mean, you even see, well, I wouldn't say China's merging towards America, but it is a little bit. I mean, if you're out in the village, okay, it's not. But, through, obviously, Shanghai, as they say, Shanghai's not China. But even the bigger cities and what have you. But China is pretty fortified, to be fair, culturally speaking. Pretty culturally fortified. But as I say, it still is creeping in because of the amount of students who study abroad. But whether that will continue in the future, who knows? With the exception of that, and maybe a few countries under Sharia law, or a few countries under maybe some stricter information control, everyone else will kind of merge towards the mean, which is America. So hopefully, at least once this kind of globalization process maybe starts to wind up, whatever, hopefully some of these, or all these cultures at least, keep something of their own culture. Be really nice to see, and in a meaningful way as well, you know what I mean, not just in a very token way, but at least a token way is something. So I might head over and grab a coffee at Galeria Minsk and see all the brands there. So apparently H&M just opened again. So I generally don't tell you when I'm doing my filming, because sometimes I film months and months in advance. Other times I film in the morning and release it at night. Depends the situation. But September 24 when I'm filming this, 2022. H&M just opened again. Over there, it was the only store here that really shut, I think. Physical store that shut in Belarus, and it seems to have, well, a friend of mine just told me it reopened this week. So I'll go over now, have a look. Bathroom break is much needed, and sit down and have a coffee. Catch up with my friend who's been in Europe for the last month or so. So I hope you enjoyed that dancing. As I always say, tell me what you enjoy, tell me what you don't, because otherwise I'm just kind of shooting in the dark. I'm just, well, literally, camera shooting in the dark. So do let me know what you want more of, what you enjoy, and why. And I can work out what else might be interesting as well. Well, I've got this fairly unique perspective. There are a few people filming out of Belarus. There's a Filipino guy, Tito Flores, who, well, hopefully we might even do a collab soon, he and I. He approached me on the street the other day and did a post, YouTube post of us together. It's also Irish Partisan, Irish bloke who's been here on and off for many, many years. And a couple of local people who kind of trying to promote their own business through YouTube. The tourism girl trying to be a tour guide. There's also another guy who's kind of a visa fixer guy who has a channel. Other than that, there's not a lot of footage getting out. But I do, just between you and I, don't tell anyone this, but I do kind of intend to be in North Korea at some stage in the next 6 months. I need to tie this up, organise it, tie it up, and try and get in there for about a month is my plan. But I just need to talk to a couple more people first who've got first-hand experience and what have you, because if I can go in there and have free reign to film, for me this is an interesting way to spend a month. But if I can't have free reign to film, then what's the point? You know what I mean? I think it'd be very interesting to see, because that is a country that's really cut off. There's also other problems, like if I'm kind of begging for trouble a little bit in as far as, once I've been in and out of North Korea, it's probably going to be harder for me to ever get any kind of government job in Australia. They'll probably always have me on some kind of watch list. But you don't really want to be being watched. So I'm kind of aware of that as well, but nonetheless, I probably still will go in. So the shopping centre's busy today. 6 levels here. Alright, well that's enough from me. Thank you everybody for coming along for the ride. If you did enjoy this content, do give it a like. It does help me and it does let me know what you like, and also comment below again what you preferred, what you don't prefer, any ideas. I'm more than open to hearing what you have to say. If you're subscribed, I really appreciate it. If you're not subscribed, I can't imagine a reason why you're not, because let's be honest, you've just sat through over 20 minutes of me talking, so we're pretty close nowadays. So if you want to have a good life and a prosperous future, hit that subscribe button now.